Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 31 Media podcast. My name is Vaishnavi Nashte. I'm the marketing and PR manager here at 31 Media. Today's podcast is particularly very exciting because we are exploring the evolution of FinTech, which is a $295 billion market. Today's podcast is also in collaboration with the Digital Transformation Awards and the AI Summit and Awards. These are two separate B2B events organized by 31 Media. So if you're interested in attending or exhibiting your tech solutions, in any of these events, please follow the link in the description to do so. We have on the podcast Donat today, who is the Chief Product Officer at X Data Group. He is a product development specialist who has over 10 years of experience in the field of fintech. We are thrilled to have his expertise in business analysis on our podcast today. He has also written a fantastic article on how fintech is reshaping the future of finance and how companies can keep up with this revolution, in today's competitive landscape. So make sure to give that a read. You'll find the link in the description to it as well. So firstly, welcome to the podcast, Donald. How are you today?
Hello, Vaishnavi. It's nice to meet you today. It's a nice day, and
It
I was
is.
waiting for this podcast. Yeah,
No, thank you
because
so much for taking some time out. I know it's around 4 o'clock, right, where you are?
yeah, I'm right now in Estonia, in our X Data company office. So yeah, it's still a working day for us.
Yeah. Amazing. Cool. So before we actually get into the questions, I want to explore more about your experience in fintech and what sort of like got you into the space and why does it still keep you like, passionate about it?
Yeah, that's actually a long story. I'll try to be short in terms of that. It just happened that when I started my career in the financial sector in banks, I also had already a background in the IT and a huge understanding how it works. So the majority of my projects with which I started were already about the evolution of the financial technologies of how to make some products and processes better, faster, more efficient, more
Yeah.
technological with a better user experience and better user design, UI. So yeah, and because of that, already, as you said, like 10 years. I'm constantly dealing with some innovations and trying to make all the flows and experiences for customers of the banks and payment systems to make it better, to make it more with a higher quality.
Hmm.
Because the majority of the banks and payment systems, they have lots of different kind of products. But the main problem is that you can have like good loans, good
Hmm.
mortgages, or good payment. But if your user experience is bad, then users will just not use it. So
Hmm.
that's the main problem which we're trying to solve on how to
Yeah.
make process better and how to make products that the users will love those and will use those products.
Yeah. No, that absolutely makes sense. And you've been in this space, like, as you said, like over 10 years now, isn't it? And I'm sure you must have like experienced traditional finance and how the fintech industry is also like sort of growing, like the different platforms and apps that come up within it. What role do you think fintech actually plays in the traditional finance industry?
Um, I will say that I have experience in different types of companies. So I have been working in banks. I have been
Mm,
working in the fintechs. Right now, XDate is a fintech company, and the difference is huge. Why? Because banks are usually like big enterprises where there's a lot of people, a lot of processes. There is usually some kind of banking licenses,
mm,
and you should build products which are also regulated by the law. And on the other side, you have fintechs, where the majority of employees are younger, where they have a lot of new user experiences from different kind of devices and different kind of apps, not only banking. Because in our everyday life, we're using, I don't know, like TikTok, we're using a lot of Google services, Apple services. iOS is updating constantly, and they're bringing new user experiences to us. And as far as we are using those and we have this understanding of user experience, we have some kind of a feeling and understanding on what we want also from banks and payments. And if we're
Mm-hmm.
speaking about the difference and what the banks need to do, have sure understanding. And if the bank or like old payment system, if they want to have a good product, then the main question which they need to solve is some kind of innovations in terms of the IT department. The main problem is tech gap because a lot of banking solutions are built on the basis of the old core solution, which need to be updated or totally like changed on the new solution. In other cases, you will be not able to build some kind of like fast loan solution, or you will be not able to build a cashback or some kind of let's say instant payments. And also, a big problem is with the IT talents, because if you want to have a big and good IT department, you need to hire a good people in terms of their IT skills and talents, and
Yeah.
that's also a problem because they should not only know how to code, but also have a feeling, understanding of what they're doing
Yeah.
and how those products should work.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that makes sense. I'm curious,
yeah.
like, since you've been a part of the space for such a long time now, what do you think are the key challenges that financial companies face today as they are sort of moving towards digital transformation, which is quite essential, right, for any company to like keep up with the competitive landscape? Digital transformation in itself is would be a different topic, but what do you think are the key challenges that these companies are facing today?
Just realized you're a bank, have, for example, 500 branches plus 5,000 people, employees, and you're trying to compete with the Revolut, who has no branches and who has less employees and who is building the product 10 years and not the 30 as you. So the main problem is old bureaucracy processes, because a lot of people in the old banking systems, they are trying to make like good processes, but in the reality, they're constantly stopping development. And second problem is a technological questions on technological solutions, because when you're building a startup, a fintech from scratch, you have a good possibility to start writing nicely, to have a clean code, to have a microservice architecture, not the monolithic one. And if we're
Mm-hmm.
speaking about the big old banks, they have like a big monolith. Just try to extract one microservice from this monolith, and it will take like 1 year at least for the project. So those are, I think, two main points. And the third point is that uh, I know that people who are working in the IT, with the higher probability they will go to the fintech than to the bank to work, even
Mm-hmm.
if the salary in the bank is higher. It's not even big. It's not the question about money. It's a question about how the people in the IT feel themselves in the fintech and in the bank, which
Yeah.
has all processes. Because no one wants to all the time struggle with the compliance officers or some law departments who are trying to obey some kind of rules. So that's why they're going to the fintechs where they have good product managers, project managers who are solving all those questions with their own local compliance.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. And like, what do you think the future really looks like when it comes to fintech?
If we're speaking about the fintech, we can see already like a big, huge solutions with the fantastic products. In the year of those are Revolut, N26, let's say Wise, which is also from Estonia. And we have right now on the table Nubank.
Mm,
All of those have lots of products, and but the main question which they all are trying to solve right now is
mm-hmm.
financial education, because that's a big topic with a huge scope. And those who will solve this question on how to teach people through the products, those will win for sure, because
Yeah.
they will explain to customers how to use all the banking products.
Mm-hmm.
And the second big topic is a super app when you can do everything in one application. And that's also like very interesting topic when you can, let's say, order taxi, buy tickets for the plane,
Mm-hmm.
open banking account, and let's say register yourself to some kind of event or buy tickets to the cinema through one application.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we will come to this for sure. The only question is who will be the first one and on which market that will be.
Yeah, I have read like a few companies, now that you've explained like the super app platform a bit more, I have seen like a few companies move in that direction. And I think that was like back home, but I think the user experience thing that you mentioned at the very beginning, that wasn't the best. So like no matter what ideas you're coming forward with, if your digital transformation isn't really impacting the customer experience and making it more positive, then what's the point of it, isn't it? Well,
Yeah, that's true. And that will be the main question actually, because for example, we have some kind of big fintech which is
mm,
highly presented in the Europe. And for example, you want to operate properly in all the European countries where there is a lot of third parties who should provide their APIs to integrate their products, if we're speaking at least about the tickets for the events.
yeah.
And that will be very hard. But I think that in some point of view, such kind of the fintechs, they will provide some kind of SDK
Mm,
or like some kind of rules on how to build this API for
yeah.
those companies. And if the company wants to be presented in the super app, then that will be already their own, let's say, problem on how to build a
Mm,
good API that to
mm-hmm.
be properly integrated inside of the super application.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Thank you so much, Donald, for shedding light on important topics of fintech and how the future really is revolving around it. And your article is also very exciting and insightful. So I can't wait for the audience to give that a read as well. And thank you again for being on the
Yeah.
31 Media podcast.
Thank you so much, Vaishnavi.